Cansado daquele atacante que só perde gols? Reforce seu time comprando coins de maneira rápida e segura, sem risco de banimento. Cobrimos qualquer oferta do mercado. Chame agora mesmo no link da descrição.
No, I think that Happy is going to be attacking because he still has everything to play for at this point. He still has a possibility to get second. And of course, he's pretty much locked in top 4. But at the end of the day, he needs every single goal that he can get. And unfortunately for Matias Bonanno, he is his current attacking partner. And I think this might happen a few more times.
Yeah, it's just not going for him. As you see, Bonanno there. Just got into the chat and they enjoyed it, but
there's like 2 LOLs.
There's plenty there. There's plenty. They enjoyed it. Happy enjoying himself right now. The other game that is currently underway. Phzin back in action, still in disbelief that he threw that game away. I can't lie. It was something that you just don't expect to see. Phzin, what, 6-2 up? They were definitely 6-3 up during that match. And just speaking to Gravison off air, almost just lost his composure. He was struggling to put 2-3 passes together. Obviously the press came in and we know how strong the press is this year, but even still, he just couldn't really function properly. It was really weird to watch, and the opportunities came, a little bit of luck as we said, but he's buzzing with a point, and it's potentially a point that this group could come down to.
Every point matters.
It certainly does, as Bonanno levels up this tie to take points away from Happy. He's going to be in action this weekend, is Bonanno.
Big week for Man City Esports this weekend, as we have him teaming up with Tex for EPREM. It's one of 2 competitions this year for EPREM.
Could this be a little bit of a confidence builder? Even though sort of today's, it's looking desperate, shall we say. You look ahead to the weekend, you've got a fresh tournament, everyone's coming in on 0 points. If he goes and performs this weekend, obviously it's a very different team, the draft not in process there, it's Premier League players, but it could just get the cogs turning ever so slightly.
It could, and I do think that we say that maybe his mind might be out of the game now, but this is practice for this weekend at the end of the day. And he has a teammate, which is a whole different situation. He has to rely on someone else. They played 2 different games, but it is aggregate scoring for them.
And if you look in the previous sort of results from him, yeah, great history with his teammate at Team Heretics in Hidalgo. And he's going to be teaming up with someone that needs no introduction in Tex. That's to come in the future. Right now we're in the present. We are in a 1-1 scoreline tied up. There is also, we can't forget, Karamo, the FC Pro Live item, which I'm sure people out there, whether it's untradeable or invested in, will want to see an improvement. Kyle Walker, you're asking a lot of that pace to catch up with Mbappe. He does. If you're a Man City or Bonanno fan, don't want to see that much space for Mbappe to run into.
You don't, especially if you've invested in that Karamo card. I think at this point you have not seen any upgrade, and so any point you can get matters at the end of the day.
R9, good save from Schmeichel. Sanchez can't quite pick up the pieces there, and it will fall back to the big Danish shot stopper. We'll be having a look at some of those FC Pro Live items, seeing the moves and groovers today in a game or so's time. Modric fired the ball out wide, and Alphonso Davies, with a little bit of space, can attack the byline. Does he choose to come inside? He does, and Tevez, who's been a real ringleader, passes to Mia Hamm, the star of the show, but a great save.
Great save. We broke down a lot of his misses last time, and I do feel like he hasn't necessarily made those improvements. He's not green timing his shots. The composure, we saw it a little bit last time. He was doing better in the first round, but again, he's not quite getting it.
This is live action here between Phzin and Facu Cohen. If you're wondering who is who, it's Phzin in the black strip of Ajax from left to right, and Eusebio and Facu Cohen from right to left. Erling Haaland has been a menace today for all Facu's opponents, whether it's heading balls down inside the box or finishing himself on that left foot. He just seems to be in the right place at the right time, and when the ball's in the air, Facu looks at home, it's got to be said. Modric with a little bit of luck there. Will now bring Cafu into play. Tevez recycling, keeping possession, holding, waiting. Will there be a space to open? That's the only problem with Haaland. He's always going to turn on his left. Very rarely will you ever even risk taking a shot on the right-hand foot.
He's predictable.
Right-hand foot, right foot. There's no hand involved. Let's head it over back to our main game. You talked about Happy, you talked about Banano, and we've talked a lot about her today, Mia Hamm. She has come into these squads. She's not been selected at all in any of the other teams, in any other week. She has been electric today.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite icons in the entire game, and it's no doubt why they have her on our team, because she finishes her shots, she's agile, she moves around the pitch, her dribbling is fantastic, and finally her price is dropped as well, so they can fit her into a 10 million budget.
2.9 mil.
Surprised. There we go.
She better value than R9.
I think
half
so.
the price, and with the power shot plus, with the 5-star, I say that as she misses a target, but it's not going to matter because every...
Cansado daquele atacante que só perde gols? Reforce seu time comprando coins de maneira rápida e segura, sem risco de banimento. Cobrimos qualquer oferta do mercado. Chame agora mesmo no link da descrição.
Everything is falling for Happy and nothing at all is falling for Banano. But back to the discussion. I'm in that camp. I think Hamm is probably better value.
I think it's more bang for your buck.
Hugo Sanchez. I'll be honest, I thought Hugo Sanchez was going to be subbed a lot.
So did I. Even the base version.
But he's
that
played.
didn't get subbed off till later.
He has played. As you see our lovely studio right there. The FC Pro Open. And an early goal. I talked about Haaland. I said he was a menace in the air. You stick it into the back post. No one's going to get near him. As Facu Cohen leads 1-0 against Phzin, and is Phzin being dragged into a bit of a scrap for top spot?
I mean, we mentioned it before. We were worried about the fact that he would become complacent after doing so well week one. Is that what we're seeing? I'm not sure. But again, the last game, we thought he was going to take it away because his momentum was insane. But Young came back and was like, no, I have this. So we might have a similar situation for Facu. But last game as well, it was very close.
It certainly was. Great finish there from Banano. Just talk us through it, Casey.
Alexi Putellas absolutely great on the ball. Easy finish. There was pretty much no one in front of him for R9. You mentioned it before, though. Mia Hamm versus R9. I don't know. With that type of finishing, you might need R9.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a conversation that continues to go on, and especially as those icon prices do fall down. And look, with Team of the Year right around the corner, maybe there'll be a discussion of, do you take a Team of the Year player, attacker, midfielder, or do you go for an icon? Look at that table. I told you it was getting close. I told you that Phzin was potentially getting dragged into this. 4 teams on 11 points. Phzin, 12 goal difference, 11 points. Young, 11 points. Still with, he's missing this game, so he's still got a game to play. Facu Cohen on 11. This is his last game, so his total will be 11 if he goes on to beat Phzin. And Happy, sorry, he's got one more game to play. I'm getting ahead of myself. And Happy on 11 points.
I'm stressed just looking at this table, and I'm not even playing.
There was conversation about the tiebreaker. And we sort of said, yeah, the tiebreaker, every week we have a call, all the talent, and a couple of people from EA as well, and the production team, and the tiebreaker's off the subject right at the end of the meeting that just gets blown over. I want to see those tiebreaker rules, because I think
we need to look at the fine print.
I think the tiebreaker could be brought into question here with maybe even 3 different players, with this group being as competitive as it is.
I will say, with so many ties on the board, we need to, every goal counts.
Yeah, it does.
And so one missed opportunity could be your chance to go on to the next stage of the competition.
Hugo Sanchez into R9. Every goal changes this group at the moment. And I know we've got a long time to play. Maybe we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but this is the 3rd game. There's only 6 points maximum left to play for. If that result stays as it is between Facu Cohen and Phzin, Phzin is well and truly pulled into it, and he's still got to play Banano. Banano, I mean, I really don't like saying this because I'm a huge fan of his, as Mia Hamm forces another save from Courtois. It could come down to who does Bonanno take points off of?
Yeah.
That really could be the factor in this, because everyone's picking up 3 points against it.
Yeah, we have Bonanno versus Phzin after this, and then Bonanno versus Young.
As the final 2 games that he has to play as R9 rattles the crossbar. Bounce out of play for a goal kick. Ham releasing Sanchez. He will just take that space and drive to the byline. The cutback options are there. It goes into Carlos Tevez with the 5-star skills. He's got a little trick or two in his locker. Mbappe, great feet. Ham, green timed off the crossbar. Courtois bounces it in off his head.
Wow. As he just shakes his head.
What can you do?
Mati can only laugh at that point.
Like, oh,
man.
Just watch his back. It's a comedy errors. You'd be probably seeing this in black and white with some comedic music over the top of it.
I will say, though, how he does work the ball into the box is very well done, even if the finish isn't as pretty as we would hope.
His left stick dribbling is really smooth as well. His movement inside the box. I think we saw in the highlight package before the game as well, he pulled out a fake shot in like week 2 when he was playing against Bonanno. He's just a little bit different in the way that he moves the ball in the final third and how he attacks.
He's very confident as well, because you have to be a confident player to bring out some of those moves.
And also, he's not only confident in his ability, but I think he's confident in himself. He could be like sort of that. He's quite, I don't want to say, well, he's not really reacted today at all either. We saw the reaction when he qualified. There will be a huge reaction for the 2 players who do qualify. I can guarantee you that. There will be plenty of vamos here in the arena.
Well, he shook his head at his own goal. So
could make a montage at the moment of Bonanno's facial expressions, just his disbelief more than anything in what he's seeing on the pitch in front of him. Really enjoying that Hugo Sanchez out wide. We are at half-time in the other matchup as well. Facu Cohen and Phzin embroiled in a battle which could define where this group twists and turns as we head into the final 2 matches here this evening. Casey, we're seeing Bonanno really struggling at the moment, but he's still an unbelievable player, and every single person who comes up against him has to play at their very best to get anything out of him.
Oh, absolutely. You can never underestimate someone like Matías Bonanno, who has been so great of a player throughout the history of all of his competitions, pretty much. It's just unfortunate that this stage of the FC Pro Open has landed this way, especially as Man City fans, including the one and only FG.
Hello, everybody. I'm back.
Can't get enough.
Can't get enough. Love it here, mate. Yeah, back to what you were saying. Yeah, he's a brilliant player, but it just shows the level, doesn't it?
As we head on over to Phzin and Facu Cohen. Phzin from right to left, all in black, and Facu Cohen left to right, with Haaland up top. If you're struggling to find out which player is which, just look for Haaland, look for the man bun, and that's where you'll find Facu Cohen. Mbappe, Eusebio, no Ham, no R9.
I really like him, Ham. I think Maya Ham is very, very good. Got to keep it alive, of course. But...
Cansado daquele atacante que só perde gols? Reforce seu time comprando coins de maneira rápida e segura, sem risco de banimento. Cobrimos qualquer oferta do mercado. Chame agora mesmo no link da descrição.
Ham double M.
Yeah, Ham with a double M, yeah. She's been very, very good. One that's gone under the radar a little bit, Casey?
I don't know if she's under the radar. I mean, obviously she's new to the game this year, so we're really just discovering how great she possibly is, but she's fantastic.
It's not a bad sub to bring off the bench as well for Happy. Hansen making her impact. So you see Bonanno looking to open up this player lock down the line, just waiting, holding. Does finally fire it out wide to Spinazzola. Nice play inside. Hugo Sanchez round the keeper. Carlos Alberto in the right place at the right time to drift it past the post. Everything that Bonanno is doing, I say that as Walker heads it in at the back post, of course it'd be a City player to potentially salvage some points for him.
Yeah, good header. It's actually, what he's done there is he's gone short with corners. This happens to me a lot in the weekend league. It's quite a good exploitation of the mechanics of the game.
Yeah, you go short, you then pass it back, and typically a good header of the ball will sort of float to the back post. It's then on you on how you defend that. Do you flick the right stick and pull a player to the back post? Do you try and move the keeper and try and sort of position them in an area where your keeper will jump and get it? But yeah, players of your quality will concede a lot of goals from that short corner.
And also score a lot of goals from that short corner, Mr. Buckley. But yeah, that was got to be one of the...
I heard a story earlier.
Okay.
And I don't think you finished it. You're talking about your champs record.
Yes.
You're 8-0.
I was 8-0, yeah.
You let everyone know that you're 8-0.
Yeah.
And then I think you said 8-6.
This is Luka Modric. Penalty.
Changing the subject.
It's a penalty.
It is a penalty.
It's Happy, and it's Carlos Tevez.
Step up from the spot, sticks it in the bottom corner, 2-goal cushion reinstated. Back to FG.
Yes.
You never really said what happened to get to 8-6.
Well, it was just sort of, you know, one of those things that started getting a bit of a pain in my hand, and I feel like, you know, my levels dropped a little bit because of the pain.
The injury. Was the pain so bad that you lost 6?
Yeah, it was an injury. The doctors told me I probably shouldn't carry on playing, but you know, I showed a bit of passion, and yeah, here we are, 8-6. And,
interesting.
It's funny how you didn't mention the 8-6 after you said the 8-0.
No, but I was 8-0 though.
Right, but then 8-6.
Yeah, but you've got to think about the positive things in life.
And that's exactly what Facu Cohen is doing right now, because he's leading 1-0 still against Phzin, who, to this point, he came in on 10 points, and he's only...
Is that a penalty?
Today. There has been a penalty awarded under the game. We'll get to it when we can. Happy looking to extend his scoreline even further here. Under Travella, doesn't fall.
Let's talk about João Cancelo for a minute, shall we? He is one of my favourite FC24 items, the Trailblazer one, Casey.
Why is that?
I just really enjoy attacking with my fullback, and I think he's really, really good at it. And defensively, he's got a bit as well. I'm
not surprised that he's been in pretty much every single week here at the FC Pro Open. Hugo Sanchez running to Carlos Alberto. Happy, the only player to have picked Carlos Alberto in his team. We said there was a penalty, and this is how it was awarded. It's a little bit harsh on Phzin. Facu stepped up, Luka Modric, 92 penalties. And what happened next? Straight down the middle. He called his bluff, Casey.
He did, straight down the middle. It's a risky play.
However, he's just got 2-0.
And there we go. And just like that, it is 2-0 with Luka Modric, their Croatian GOAT.
What has happened to Phzin?
This group is absolutely incredible.
Did you see the live table? When
I did.
11
Everyone
points.
on 11 points.
There you go.
There it is again. That...
Look at the goal difference between Facu and Young as well.
It's a box office. We could well see a situation where we might have to go to like a playoff tonight.
We could also see, if Phzin doesn't book up his ideas, Phzin not going through as one of those top two, which seemed impossible.
He's got to test his mental strength, but one thing we know about Phzin is he's got that in abundance, and we've seen it before, and I'm sure Phzin will find a way.
The thing that could hurt Happy here is that goal difference. He's 10 goals back on second in Young. Obviously, Facu Cohen is beating Phzin. Now he's going to be looking to knock a couple off of that tally as Happy comes forward. Green-timed strike from Hansen.
Especially because Happy is off next round, and then his last game is against Phzin.
That generally could be a decider.
Could be like a playoff, yeah, that's crazy.
We didn't know what to expect this week. I think the one guarantee that we said was Phzin will play well, and we expect him to be the sort of the trendsetter and the pacemaker, shall we say. That's not been the case at all, and as this group is starting to sort of take shape, going into the final couple of games, there's one guarantee, and that's unfortunately that Bonanno won't be in the conversation. However, he will be in the conversation of taking points off other players.
He will indeed. He'll want to win every game he plays still. He's a man with a lot of talent, and he wants to showcase that, and pride, of course, as well. But Going back to what you said, what an advert for esports this is incredible.
Cansado daquele atacante que só perde gols? Reforce seu time comprando coins de maneira rápida e segura, sem risco de banimento. Cobrimos qualquer oferta do mercado. Chame agora mesmo no link da descrição.
Just see that finish there. I know we've talked a bit about Hugo Sanchez, Casey. It'd been an instant sub for me. I think they're just complaining there. As you see the face cam.
Yeah, I think for me,
technical difficulty, but we are just continuing. The admin is, I mean, a metre away from the booth, so he's been on every single game and he's seen a lot happen. But back to Hugo Sanchez, he's performed. He's been the sort of, if Mia Hamm's been the star, he's been the supporting cast.
yeah, I think for me, my first impression would be to sub him as well. But it's obvious that for each of these players that have him in, he's staying in the entire time. He's actually scoring goals and being a major, major assist. And another almost opportunity for Hugo Sanchez. I will also say that as someone from Mexico, Happy will keep him in the team. I'm wondering if Bonano keeps his Argentine in the team and if the Brazilians keep the Brazilians and they have more of a love for them. Like they can't get rid of them.
One person that everyone's got a love for, and rightly so, is Virgil van Dijk. That man is unstoppable. It doesn't matter what Virgil van Dijk you've got. He's absolutely unstoppable.
Sanchez. That is a huge moment.
Massive.
5-5, and we talked about Matty taking points off the remaining 4 competitors. As Hugo Sanchez, he gets a slice of luck for his own. It's been going against him. The cake's been stolen, but he stole a crumb. Did Matty.
I like that one, Buckley. You should see the smile he's just given me there after saying that. It's nowhere near done as well. In that game, there's still plenty of time. Remember, it's 9-minute halves, so there are plenty.
Let's head on over to that other match as we see the live shots here. 73 minutes on the clock. PHZ trailing 2-0 against Facu Cohen. Let's stick with this for a little while the other game is getting back underway. I'm just having a look at the minutes as well. This 15 minutes left to play. I think the other game had about 13-ish minutes left to play, so they'll probably round out at a very similar time here.
I will say last time these two fought against each other, it was 4-4. So very, very close. So I'm thinking that Facu Cohen really went into the analysis and saw what he did right, what he did wrong, and he's making those changes against Phzin, and it's obviously working for him.
Down the byline, flicked into the back post. Thibaut Courtois. Not got the gloves on this time around. Pateas, Modric, Ham. Step overs, byline drive, cuts it back. Hakimi, flick to the back post again. Courtois is up, but Lev Yashin, the battle of the goalkeepers.
Lev Yashin at centre half, who would have thought it? But you know what an item. Have you used him yet?
I've not. He's a little bit expensive to justify for me.
Casey, I know you said in the draft show earlier on, you're not a massive fan.
I'm not a fan. I feel like players that play out of position, it just affects the items.
You're a football purist.
I am. I really am.
Used Lewandowski before?
Musiala!
Oh, green time.
6-5.
It's a great finish.
Shake of the head from Bonano. Another item in Musiala that you just don't really see too much, but he twisted and turned inside the box. He green timed it into the top left corner.
And he attacked the space very, very well there.
Like a prime Lewandowski would.
A prime Lewandowski indeed. Looking forward to Team of the Year, Mr. Buckley.
How many are you going to pack?
Well, that's the question. I mean, it's going to be tough, but remember, we've got double Team of the Year this year. We've got the women's team as well, so there's a chance.
Over, under, 5.
Ooh, 5's a lot, you know.
I know.
It is.
How many do you think you'd pack?
I packed 0 last year, and I opened over 1,000 packs, so
Right.
I hope that I get more than
I've got a good record.
Okay, and how many do you think you're going to pack?
I reckon with both teams, I've got 4 in me, but one unbelievable one.
I tell you what, let's ask the Twitch chat who you think out of all of us 3 in the commentary team are going to pack the most Team of the Years.
FG's going to get it up and have a look for you.
We'll have a quick look and see what the Twitch chat are saying while saying hello to some of you guys. 10 minutes left in this game as well, Mr. Buckley.
Mbappe taking the space, driving. He's got Modric against him. He'll fancy himself to get the better of the Croatian. Mia Hamm into play. Musiala again. Reverse Elastico. Oh, just overplayed it ever so slightly, and a chance for Bonano to come up the other end.
Shout out to him here now, putting me in the chat. Thank you, mate. I don't think so, but I actually think Buckley runs quite pure. He's got that look. You know, you've just got the look of spring in your step.
Bonanno, Carlos Alberto again in the right place at the right time to keep Happy in front. The other game, 8 minutes left to play. Phzin 0, Facu Cohen 2. If the results stay as they are, we are going to go into round number 4 with 6 points left to play for. With 4 players on 11 points each. There's just been a huge, huge goal between Facu Cohen and Phzin. It's changed the way that this game is going because Facu Cohen is 3-0 up.
Wow, what a performance as well.
Keeping it in a dive.
What a performance. You didn't expect that, did you, Casey?
No one expected this. If someone would have told me that Facu Cohen is currently 3-0 up against, quote-unquote, one of the best in the world, almost a chance there, I wouldn't have believed you.
Prime Gary Neville.
These games tonight are absolutely sensational, by the way.
It's a poor short corner. Kyle Walker gets it back, hits a driven pass, and Bonanno with his hand to the screen.
Did you expect more of an impact from R9 so far this evening, Mr. Buckley?
I did. We were talking about it just previously. I think Ham is much better value over R9 when you look at the performances, the price, and the player that you get out of it. It just doesn't. It doesn't really, as we've seen these games take place, seem too different. Something that has been different in this group is Phzin's performance from week 1 to week 2. Erling Haaland at the near post. That's a 4-goal swing for Facu Cohen. Phzin came into this group flying high, goal difference really good, feeling great. He has now just bottled a massive lead against Young. I think 6-3 up, 6-2 up. It got it back to 6-6, and he had to pull out a piece of goalkeeper with it to save himself from losing that game. Talk about small margins. Imagine that goes in. And that's the group right now. Goal difference, 9-7-6. Happy on -7.
That is a goal which has thrown this group.
If Bonanno scores here,
wide open.
Happy could be really, really... Oh, I tell you what, he's defended well.
That'll be it, I think.
4 players on 11 points. What a group this is shaping up to be with 2 games left to play, Casey.
Absolutely insane. I never would have guessed this. Who would have thought that Phzin would be sweating going into round 4 and 5? I wouldn't.
Do you know what's going to happen now? Every single game that finishes, you're not going to know if to celebrate because you're going to be looking around going, did he win? Did he win? What's that score? You might even see a few tactical pauses to let the other game get ahead to know what result you've got to get to potentially get into the top 2. Facu Cohen, biggest win of the tournament so far. 4-0 against Phzin. FG is going to leave us for now. He's going to get himself repositioned.
Cansado daquele atacante que só perde gols? Reforce seu time comprando coins de maneira rápida e segura, sem risco de banimento. Cobrimos qualquer oferta do mercado. Chame agora mesmo no link da descrição.